Hey folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly revisit Star Tycoon. So we're going to be playing a solo game today using the promo pack 2 that recently came in the mail. That promo pack 2 does include a slightly different solo variant as well as some new cards and some other cool things. So we're going to be seeing some new content today. I have covered this game several times on my channel via playthroughs, how to play video. I even created my own solo variant using Atomic cards. You can find content to all of that in the below description. For those of you coming into this brand new, I'll just quickly overview it for you. This is an engine builder-esque kind of game where you're going to be controlling your very own company and building a tableau of cards. And it kind of takes some inspiration from Splendor, in the sense that you've got these different tiered cards and they get more expensive the higher the tier is. But these are developments here, and you're going to be buying those with resources and then slotting them underneath these planets up here as you get them as well. And that way you can fulfill various victory point conditions as well as produce resources. There's 5 different resources in the game, and there's a galactic market that tells you how expensive they are depending on certain factors, and you're going to be moving these tokens up and down as you buy and sell. There's also these partnerships down here. These are primarily victory point conditions that you can purchase in order to get extra points at the end of the game. There's also a bonus victory point condition here where this will change from game to game, but the one I drew randomly this is the resources one. So the more resources you have at the end of the game, the more points you earn. There's also a reference card that came new with this promo pack. It does replace the existing one in the core box. They primarily made changes to this trade section. They kind of combined the different actions all inclusive under the trade here. And we'll see that possibly whenever we actually start playing. Now, as far as these dice here, I put them there because I like to track my actions with dice, and you'll see that play out in a little bit. So I did choose a promo pack 2 company just to show off some of the new content. This is Nico's Discount Alien Relics. This is the starting resources I get over here to the upper right. And my ability is once per round, choose one resource of your choice that you produce and swap all of that resources for that chosen type. So you can as long as you're producing green, for example, you can swap all of your green tokens to say brown or something like that. So I'll be able to transfer one resource into another or convert them as it were once per round. And as part of setup for this new solo variant, you're also going to draw one of these starting buff cards, and it'll say starting buff on the bottom. There's a whole deck of them. And I drew the double forge card. Now, what you're supposed to do is draw so many and pick one. Again, I just kind of picked one at random here for the purposes of this playthrough. Start the game with a second random Omniforge. If you win this game, do not discard this card to the box. When taking the Omniforge action, choose only one card to activate. So what's interesting is it says discard cards to the box. When you're playing the solo mode, you play 3 games. It's like a run. And cards that you've used in one game are typically discarded to the box, never to be seen again for that run. And this card specifically says, though, not to do that. That's why there's a call out there to that. And then you're also going to pick a victory point condition card, or not pick it, but you're going to draw some, pick one. It says, make sure that each of your planets has no capacity remaining. Each of these victory point cards has some kind of special condition you have to meet, as well as a victory point goal that you're trying to reach as well. There's a 34, 37, and a 40 down here. Runs are played over 3 games. So if this is your first game in the run, then you're going to try to get 34 points. If you drew this card on your second game, you're trying to get 37 points. If you drew this card on your third game, you're going to be trying to get 40 points. So the difficulty goes up as you play game to game to game, and at the end of your third game, you're just trying to beat all 3. Now, if you fail game 1, game 2, or game 3, then you reset the beginning of the run and try all over again. So I've already drawn my starting system, and I've also drawn 2 Omniforge cards. Typically, you only get 1, but like I said, the double forge starter buff allows me to draw another one at random, which I did. So I have OmniForge number 6 and OmniForge number 1 slotted underneath this planet here. Now, the unfortunate thing about this is that actually counts as 2 against my 3 slots already. So I can only put one more development here before this planet is full. So I really need to start grabbing some planets right away. And again, my goal is to get to 34 points or better, and also make sure that each of my planets that I grab has no capacity remaining. Meaning, if I were to buy this card, it has 3 development slots. I need to make sure I'm buying 3 developments to completely fill up this planet so that it can't hold anymore. That's my victory condition. So I don't want to get a whole bunch of planets. I want to get maybe 3 or 4 and fill them up as best as I can. So at the beginning of the game, I'm going to get some starting resources based off of my company corporation there. And I guess we're ready to go. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into it. The first thing that happens on a player's during a round actually is the event phase, but that is skipped for the very first round. So this is round 1, round 2, round 3, and round 4, but we skip that for the first round. There's no exclamation point there. So we're going to skip drawing this, and now we're going to produce, and we're going to take a look at all of our cards that have like blue boxes here and produce. So I'm going to get a green and a yellow and a blue and a purple. This yellow is energy credits. I did get the acrylic tokens courtesy of the developer. These are really nice. So if you can get them, do so. I mean, they're really nice. And then a blue and a purple. All right, so we're going to produce. There we go. And I think that's it for producing for right now. Then we move on to player turns. And during a player turn, I'm going to take 3 actions, and then I'm going to manipulate the market based on the solo mode rules, and then refresh cards, and then rinse and repeat that up to 3 times, because there's 3 you're going to do that 3 times here. But the dice are going to track my individual actions, 1, 2, 3, and then do my thing, and then 1, 2, 3, do my thing, 1, 2, 3, do my thing. You'll see it. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. So what am I going to do first for my very first action? Well, this starter planet card that I got my homeworld wants blue. So I believe in the solo rules, I think they changed that. MISC rule changes. So to achieve production supremacy, when you produce 3 or more of that token. So what you want to do, this is your supremacy goal. If I produce 3 blue across my development cards, I get 3 points. So I want to try and produce blue if I can, but I also want to produce things that I'm not producing right now. So I have a variety of resources, and I'm not sort of tied into 1 or 2 things. I want to diversify my resources if I can. I'm not producing red, nor am I producing brown. So I might want to grab something that's making brown if I can. So for my first action, and I can do a number of things on my turn as far as actions are concerned. I can purchase a card from a full row or my reserve. A full row is, as long as there's no cards taken, these do not, like if I were to buy this does not get refreshed right away. So I would not be able to buy anything else from this row currently unless I spent an action to refresh it. In the solo mode, you can actually refresh things for free using one of these energy credits. It's a special solo rule. It may be mentioned here. Let's take a look. MISC rule changes. The refresh action can be paid for with energy credits instead of using an action, and this can be repeated as desired. So it's just a quick way of like getting cards cycled out for your solo playthrough. Okay, so I do want a brown card, so maybe get that one if I can. I've got all these starting resources over here, which is great, but I need a planet. I kind of want a planet first. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. I need, according to my starting company, in order to get 4 points, I need a blue planet, a green planet, and a yellow planet. So I want to grab possibly one of these 2. So I think, I'll just grab this one, this Belvita system. And because this one is brown. The target goal for this planet is 3 brown developments underneath this planet. Like I'd have to find cards that produce brown. That may not be a bad idea, actually, because I'm already eyeing that one over there. Or do I get this Belvita system and aim for blue, green, purple? That's the question. Which one of these do I want? Because I want blue and I want green, but I also don't want to be tied to just picking one resource. I want to be able to buy a bunch if I can. Let's go with the blue one against my better judgment. And that's going to cost 1 red to do. So I'm going to pay 1 of my red tokens to buy that. That is 1 of my 3 actions. So I'm going to take 1 of those away for right now. And then let's see. I'm tempted to buy something to slot under it. I could buy this one over here that's blue, and that would be a blue resource and a brown resource. Again, I'm not producing brown, but I did start with 1 per my starting company here. I would really like that one, but that doesn't synergize well. This is producing brown, and this planet wants developments that produce blue, green, and purple. So I want to put blue, green, and purple production underneath that if I can. So I'm very tempted to buy this one. This is a research one. And again, it's blue and brown. So I'm going to go ahead and buy that. So blue and brown, I want to return that to the supply. And I'm going to slot that underneath like so. And that was my second action. And for my third action, let's see. Can I afford any of these cards? I do want energy credits if I can. This is green, 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 yellow. I don't have 3 greens to do that. I could buy from the galactic market, buy and sell. Green, I don't have another brown, so that is not possible. That would, that wouldn't go anywhere anyway, because I need a blue and a green to put under there. Well, maybe I trade resources to try and get brown, so that because I am out of brown, just to set myself up, because I don't think I can do anything else over here. That's a tough situation. Okay, so let's go ahead. I know I can produce Omniforge. I can pick one of my Omniforges and produce again, but I don't think, again, I want brown. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm producing green, blue, and purple. Now I'm producing 2 purple. I'm going to be making a lot of purple. So I'm going to go ahead and sell a purple. So I'm going to sell, if I sell it, it goes this way. I'm going to sell a purple, and I'm going to buy a brown here. And it moves this way because I'm buying that resource, and I get 1 brown from that. Now in the future, because I'm buying brown, the cost of brown is going to go up. Now I need 2 energy credits in order to get that resource, and now because this is becoming cheaper, 1 energy credit will get me 2 of that resource. The reason I kind of did a straight swap there is because they were both on a 1-to-1. The way that should have played out, just to be official about it, I'm going to buy this for 1 energy credit, okay? And now I'm going to sell this one, this purple that I already put back, and gain an energy credit. This is a 1-to-1, so I get this back. That's why I just kind of just swapped them out. But all right, so let's go ahead. That was my third action. So now I'm done with that. Now we're going to manipulate the market. And the way that works, let's see, fluctuating market. And I have this written down on a separate piece of paper as well, just in case, or on my phone. Remove 2 cards. This is before you replenish, meaning before I start replenishing cards up here, I'm going to be discarding cards and moving these markers as appropriate. So the first thing I'm going to do is remove 2 cards from the planet row. For each resource shown in the removed planet's target boxes, move the markers 1 space to the left if possible. So I'm going to remove that and that. And what that does actually is this moves this one to the left 3 times because there's 3 brown symbols there. This is going to go 1, 2, 3. And this is not resources. These are like these company symbols, this Square software. It would be on one of these cards. But yeah, so we're going to discard these cards. I'm going to put them over there. And we're going to now discard 2 from Tier 1 and 2 from Tier 2. 2 cards from both Development 1 and Development 2 rows. Yep. So we're going to do these 2, and we're going to move the markers to the right based on what is shown here. Energy credit doesn't count, and this is a brown, so the brown is going to go to the right by 1, and then 2 from here. I'm not going to use that, and I'm already producing a lot of purple, so I'm going to get rid of that. Now purple is going to go to the right twice, 1, 2, because there's 2 purple symbols on that. All right, so now the market has been manipulated, and now we're going to refresh. So refreshing is we're just going to draw these cards like so. That's one of the promo pack 1s, the Abaddon black hole. It's really nice looking. Okay, so we did that, and now we're going to flip these back over so that they can be used again or traded with again. Because when you trade and these flip over to the X side, yeah, nothing, they can't be used again until everything refreshes. Okay, so now we move on to the player turn part 2. Now I've got 3 actions again to do various things. And then we rinse and repeat that again when we get to 3, and then we move on to the next round. Okay, so let's go ahead and possibly get another planet, because I do have some more reds I'd like to get rid of. This Abaddon is 4. Again, I'm trying to get planets. I want blue, I want green, I want yellow, but I don't see any of that here. And I don't want to buy Abaddon up there because its requirement wants one of these tier 3 cards underneath it. It only has room for one development, and it has to be, well, it doesn't have to be, but I would prefer it to match this. But that's 3 red, which I don't have. It's a nice looking card, though, I gotta say. So I might skip the planets or possibly like refresh that to try and get a better one, like refresh this row, but I don't really want to spend my energy credit yet to do that. Let's possibly buy something from here first. For example, we've got this card here that might be useful. There's also this energy credit over here that's blue and brown. I could get that energy credit, slot it under my home world, and that way I can get more energy credits to refresh things. That refresh power might come in handy to me. So let's, although his down here, that's 3 green. That's not terrible either. If I can get this down here instead, I don't know if that's possible to get 3 green and yeah, all right, let's do this. I think we're gonna get this one. I'm torn. Let's get this one because I want to get these planets filled up quickly. So the blue and the purple resource is what I need to spend. So blue and oh, I don't have a purple. Well, never mind. I can't do that. It has to be this one then. Unless I trade. I could trade, but the problem is purples are expensive right now. I could spend... Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to OmniForge produce, and I'm going to pick this bottom one here. That's blue and purple. So I'm going to get a blue and a purple. So that's one of my actions. And now I'm going to buy this one here, spend my purple and blue, and slot that under like so. And that was my second action. And for my third action, I really would have preferred to grab a planet, but none of these planets match the color that I need for this. I can't do that. I'm tempted to... Like, I want this. I could OmniForge produce again, but that just seems kind of silly. Oh, boy. I could refresh this row and hope that something comes up that I want. That might be a thing to try. I just don't... I want to make sure I've got an energy credit should I need it. Although, that's interesting. I didn't see that. This needs a piracy token. I can either spend these 3 to get this card and steal a resource, or my piracy token, which I have. but like it's producing purple, and I don't need purple right now. I'm producing it twice, one here and one here, and I think I'm good. I'm set. I want a blue. I'm looking for a blue. I'm gonna give up an energy credit for free, not an action, to refresh this and try and get a blue in here, which, watch it not have one. Of course it doesn't have one. Okay, so that's unfortunate because these all need energy credits to buy. And I just spent my energy credit. Okay, so I still have my third. I could take out a bank loan, but I'm not at all interested in... it bothers me to do a bank loan. It really does. Refreshing in itself, I hate doing that too. All right, so maybe I OmniForge produce again. Let's do or do I sell things? I could sell a brown maybe. Let's do that. Or no, I don't have any purple. The market is awful right now. It really is. Let's see. I need 2 energy credits for that. Can I get 2 energy credits doing anything? I could sell some of these resources to do it. I could sell a red, for example, but I'm not producing red, so I have to be really careful about that. I could sell a red and I could sell a green and get 2 energy credits that way, and then use that to maybe buy this brown so that I have more brown buying power later. Or just kind of chill until the next turn. This is maddening. Actually, let's do this. Okay, I didn't see this card, but I'm glad I looked. I have this piracy token. I'm gonna just buy this one and slot it underneath my headquarters. I'm gonna spend this piracy illicit goods token and slide it underneath here. And now I'm producing red. Okay, so that was my third action. Okay, so not a complete waste, but it's not what I wanted to do completely, but it's something. I'm trying to produce as much as possible for future rounds. So that was my third action, and now we go back to the market and do things here. We're going to manipulate this and then refresh again. So which of these 2 do I want to get rid of? I think I want to get rid of Abaddon, and it's not going to affect the market. And we're going to possibly do this one, Mercer. Yeah, let's get rid of that one. That would be that would be 2 purples to the left. So we're going to get rid of that one and move left 2 there. Okay, then we have to do 2 of these. Brown is going to go to the right 1, and brown is going to go to the right 1 again. And then down here, we'll get rid of these 2. I'm not going to worry about trying to chain. These are like, probably should put them down here. These are like, if you have these multiple copies of these communication arrays, you get points based on how many you have. So if I just focus on getting rid of those, I can ignore them in the future. Let's separate these so my OCD doesn't cry out. There we go. Okay, so we're good there. We didn't move anything else. And now we refresh everything. These are good. So we're going to do that and that. And there's some green up there. I think I need to grab one of those. Okay, so now we get our 3 actions back and we're up here. Let's go ahead and grab one of those greens. Which one do I grab? Do I go for... Which goal do I want to shoot for? Do I want a green, red, yellow? Or like a company, green, gray, green, or a red, gray, green, or a green, red, yellow? I'm going to shoot for this one here because I'll probably try to find... actually, I think we'll go for this one. Because there are a lot of red out here, and maybe I grab one of those. I don't know. This is always the tough part when you're torn between, like, you can't predict the future. You don't know what's going to come up. I don't see a whole lot of, I see a green and I see reds. These are the company. So I could probably get one of those slotted under here this turn. And in this one, this is a green-red. There's a green, but there's a piracy token, which I really don't want. There's red, but there's a piracy token there as well. Again, I think they're called illicit goods. Let's go with the company one. I think that's the safer play. And then so that cost 1 red token. Okay. And now we're 2/3 of the way there to satisfying this requirement. We need a yellow planet now in order to get 4 victory points for the end of the game. Okay. So that was one action. And for our second action, I've got a bit more freedom here. I still want a blue if I can. I don't see any blues out here. That's a purple, but that would satisfy, that red would satisfy that. That's a -1 card, which I really don't want to mess with. That's a really nice one. I wish I could get that. This is, no, I'm not going to go for that either. Okay, let's satisfy as much as we can. Maybe we can grab some partnerships. If I grab this, a blue and a green, which I do have. So we're going to put a green and a blue there. And we're going to put this card underneath this. And that does satisfy one of the icons. And we're going to try and get a gray and a green later. So that was my second action. And for my third action, I only have these. I have a red and a brown left, and I want to save my red for another planet, possibly a yellow one that does come up in the future. But I am producing red now, so I can afford to possibly get more planets, but I got to be careful because my maxed out condition is make sure that each of your planets has no capacity remaining. So I really can't go willy-nilly on the planets, but I could use red as a trading resource, I suppose, once I satisfy this over here. So, third and final action for this entire round. The question is, green, I can't do anything, I don't think. I don't think it's possible. Refreshing, no. Maybe I just Omniforge produce and set myself up for the next round. So let's grab a blue and a purple with my, now actually, I'm going to be producing a purple, so I don't want to Omniforge produce purple again. So why don't I do maybe green and energy credit? Let's do that. So I'm going to Omniforge produce this green and energy credit here, and that would be my third and final action, and we're done. So now we move on to the discard phase, where we discard down to 7 tokens, but you have to keep the illicit goods tokens. You can't discard those. So if they clutter up your resources, you're in trouble. And then we move on to rotating the player, which we're not going to do. Oh, we forgot the market stuff. Let's go ahead and do the market stuff real quick too. So blue, green, and brown. So blue, green, brown. They're getting more expensive. And then this one is green, red, and energy credit. So green, red, and an energy credit. That's gone. This one is green and piracy, so we'll do green to the left one there. And this is energy credit and piracy. That just goes away. And then energy, which ones do we get rid of here? We're going to get rid of this one, which is just victory points. And then we can bring red back to the left, but I kind of want to keep it up here so that I can sell it for more energy credits. I'm going to get rid of this one. Even though, yeah, I don't need that blue symbol. I'm going to get rid of this. And that'll be that. Okay, so now we refresh, and then we discard down to 7 tokens, which we're fine on. We only have the 4. Okay, not a terrible first round. One of the first things I like to do for round 1 is get as much production as possible. The sooner you get production, the more that pays off toward the end of the game. So we manipulated the market, we discarded down to 7 tokens, and then rotate the first player. We move on to round 2. Round 2, we start with an event. Overwork. Each player chooses one. Gain their Omniforge production, gain a resource of my choice, or flip the helper token. If heads, gain both options 1 and 2. If fail, gain nothing. So yeah, I think that's one of the new ones. I don't remember. I believe it is. But we're just going to gain Omniforge production, I think, just to keep it simple. Let's go with green and energy token, because I want those energy credits. So we're going to do that and that. They're strong in solo because you can keep spending them to refresh over here without spending an action. So I think these are really good to have. Okay, so we did that. Now we move on to production. We're going to be producing a lot. We're going to be producing a green and an energy credit. We're going to be producing a blue and a purple. We're going to be producing a red. We're going to be producing a purple and a green. We're going to be producing a purple. Okay, so we've got some resources now, and now we're on to the player turn section where we have 3 actions. Here we go, OCD. Okay, so let's figure out what we're going to do now. Let's do, is there a yellow? There is. I'm going to grab this, although it has a piracy symbol on it. That's not ideal, but I'm going to grab it anyway, and that's going to complete this here. So I'm going to spend my red to buy that. That was 1 action, because I don't know when that another yellow is going to come up, so I got to grab it now while I can. Second action, this is a blue here, and I want to get a blue over here to finish this card off and get 4 points. So I think I'm going to spend a green and a brown. Green and brown to buy this card, although it has that gray symbol. So, you know, I could slot it under here or here. Let's just finish this off and be done with it. So now we've got, just to refresh, we wanted blue, green, and brown, purple production, and now we've got all of that here. So this card is now complete. We can't fit anything else under it. And we've got 4 points coming for endgame scoring. So that was our second action. Third action, can I afford anything here, or do I want to, for that matter? I do want this 2 brown one. I don't have anything that produces brown, I don't think. Yeah, I really don't. So, and brown is super expensive. Oh man, this is bad. I want this card. The question is, can I get it? I think I can, because I need a blue, 2 green, and an energy credit. So I've got a blue, I've got 2 green, and I've got an energy credit. And we're going to slot that under here because this has the green company symbol, and that is another thing that we need there. So we're going to do that. Great. Now it's good because in the future, if this stays high, we can then sell brown for a lot of energy credits if we can. So that was my third and final action. And now we're going to manipulate the market and refresh. So this one has no resources here, so we're just going to discard it. This one has a blue and a purple. So blue goes up and purple goes up. Okay, and that is done. And now 2 from here. Brown goes to the left by 1, and green goes to the left by 1. Okay. And then here, nothing happens. And then here, red goes to the left 2. And that's a piracy symbol, so nothing happens there. Okay, so that was, yeah. And now we refresh everything. Oh, there's another yellow. That probably would have been easy to get. Maybe we'll still get it. We'll see. I don't want to go too crazy on planets for the reasons I've already mentioned. All right, come on, cards, work with me here. All right, so now we move on to that, and we get 3 of these back. Okay, we need a gray in order to finish this off. Is there a gray company? This one's a gray one, this one's a gray one, but we don't have the resources for it. We need a brown and we need a red. And this says for every water planet that I have, which I have 1, I would get a purple resource if I were to buy this. So this purple resource I would spend to get it, I would get right back. So purple energy credit, I don't have a brown, and I don't have the red that I need for this. But that's 3 points. I'm eyeballing this a lot. Maybe I can sell things to get that done. The question is, what would I sell? I've got a lot of purple. I could get rid of one of those to get an energy credit that way. And then use, well, See, I want actually... Well, I need 2 energy credits for this brown. Just to get a brown. That's the killer. It's that brown. But I think it's worth it. I think it might be worth it to get 3 points. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend 2 energy credits. I'm going to do the trade action. I'm going to spend 2 energy credits to buy a brown. So this goes up by 1 again because I just bought it. And I get a brown resource. And I get to do one more thing for that trade action. I'm going to buy... Oh, I don't have any more. I can't buy anything. I'm going to have to sell something and then buy a red in the future. So what would I sell to get more energy credits? Let's get rid of a purple. And that gives me an energy credit. Okay. And that was my second action. Third action. I still don't have enough to get that card, which is unfortunate. Could I could Omniforge produce, or do I buy something else temporarily and try to leave this card out here for as long as possible? Can I get a blue, a green, or something with a piracy symbol on it? This one has piracy symbol production, and all it needs is a purple. So maybe it's a -1 point card, though. I'm not really happy about that. This one has a green on it, and it needs a blue, which I don't have. That's unfortunate. Yeah, this is all crap. It really is. I mean, I could grab that just to satisfy this down here. I don't like that I'd be getting an illicit goods token every round. I really don't. I'm not happy about illicit good tokens. But I have no choice. I kind of want to get this set up down here. So I'm going to do a purple resource and get that slotted under here. All right, but at least, even though we've lost a point there, at least it takes care of this, and we're producing an extra red on top of it. So that's one. That was my last action, actually. Okay, so now we move on to... pretty sure that was my last action. What did I do this round? I traded... Am I due an extra action? Because I don't remember taking a third action. I only bought one card. And I traded, but I don't think I did anything else. So maybe I may have messed this up, but I'm going to go ahead and take another action because I don't see where I took that third action. This was 1 action, this was 2, and I think I'm due a third one. So let's go with just an Omniforge production. I think I'm going to choose blue. No, it's green and an energy credit. Or do I go with blue? Just to give myself some buying. Yeah, let's go with that. I'm going to go with blue and purple for my Omniforge. So we're going to do that. Okay, so that was my third action. Okay, and now we move on to the new round for round 3, but we have to refresh everything. So let's do that, get rid of that one. And then blue is going to move over to the left by 1. There. And these refresh. Over here, no, blue moves to the right by 1, not to the left. So I think it was here. Yeah, now I'm all kinds of screwed up. I'm going to leave it. I screwed up. I think I moved blue to the left and not right. At this point, I'm just going to keep going with it. Like I said, I'm going to make mistakes. And then these here, that's going to get discarded. And then green is going to move to the left by 1. Okay, and then down here, I'm just going to pick 2 cards to get rid of. Nothing happens because they're non-producers. Okay, and now we're on the third round there. We're now going to refresh everything. I'm pretty sure blue... let's just do this. Blue to the right by 1. There. That may or may not have fixed my mistake up here, but again, it's a casual game. I'm not too worried about it. Okay, so we're on our third and final turn, I guess, for round 2. Now, I want to get this card. I need another red to do it. I could buy that red. I need a blue and a green production as well. This is a blue here. Here we go. I'm going to do this one. I'm going to get this piracy token. Oh, I don't... You know what? I could have sworn... Did I steal something earlier? I could have sworn I bought a card and possibly steal something. Did I do that? Unless I missed it. I could have sworn I bought a card with a steal effect on it. Let's just check. I did. And I forgot to steal something. Whenever you buy this card, you get a free thing from the bank. I'm going to take red. I should have taken that before, but yeah. So we're going to get the red from that, and that gives us what we need, I think, to buy this card, right? So yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to do purple and energy credit and brown and 2 red. And this is going to give us the gray that we need for this card here. All right. Normally I'd have more space, but, you know, camera shots. So now we are completely satisfied here, which is great. That's going to give us 4 points plus 3 points. That's going to be great there. And that was my first action. And these go back in here. Red, red, purple, energy credit, and brown. Okay, so we've got a few resources left, but not a whole lot. Toward the later half of the game, I want to start purchasing some of these to try and get some extra victory points. The more symbols I have of red, for example, this will work out. But I think I don't have a whole lot. I have 3 gray, so if I grab one, it's going to be one of these. And these cost 4 of these purples a piece. I am producing a good bit of purple, so I will probably grab at least 1 or 2 of these before game end. But yeah, still 2 actions left. Let's go. That's a blue. I'm going to try and save this one because I'm going to get a piracy token here on my next turn, or next round. I'm going to probably use it to buy that one. And that would slot under here. There's another piracy one. Ooh, this is awful. Maybe I Omniforge produce twice and then set myself up big time for the next round. I think I'm just going to do that to keep things rolling. So I'm just going to Omniforge produce. I'm going to do a green and an energy credit. And then I'm going to do that again, just to keep the video moving. Now I could do blue and purple. I am producing blue there. I think I'm going to do green and energy credit again. Again, these energy credits I think are going to come in handy whenever I go to refresh rows. So that's it. That was the third and final thing. Now let's go ahead and get rid of 2 things. This blue one, we're going to move to the right. And this has no production or no target symbols on it, so nothing happens there. And this we're going to get rid of because I don't want that -1. Purple is going to move to the left. Super cheap. And then this one, blue, is going to go to the left. The illicit good token does nothing. And then these 2 get discarded. These all have just points on them. There's no production on them. Okay, so we do this, we refresh everything. And now we move on to round 3, which means we draw an event. And we discard down to 7, but I have 7 here, I made sure of it. All right, so the new event for round 3 is Deed Giveaway. In turn order, each player draws a card from the planet deck and places it in their play area for free. I don't know how I feel about that because I really don't want to put anything here. Like, I mean, it says I have to. So from the planet deck, well, so we have to put a planet down. So we need to get 2. That's fine. I think that'll be okay. So we just draw that, put it down, put it in there for free. This will give us extra room to slot buildings or developments that we don't fit here, I guess. It's a green. I mean, there's that. Okay, so we did the event. Now we produce things. We're going to produce green energy credit. We're going to produce blue and purple. We're going to produce red. We're going to produce purple, green, blue. Purple, green, blue. Lots of resources. Purple, brown, brown. Purple, purple. Or brown, brown, purple. Go. And then here is just a red and an illicit goods token. Okay, so we did our production. We get our three actions there. And I think I already know what I'm going to do. We're going to get one of these two with our illicit goods token. So which one do I want? I think I want the... I need both, actually. Let's go with the... I don't see a blue or green or anything down here. Let's just do this. We'll go with this blue one here. And I need that for this one. So I'm going to spend my illicit goods token, because I could spend either these or this to put this under here. Okay. 2/3 of the way there to completing that one. That was one action. Second action, I need to fill this planet up as quickly as possible. I don't want to leave that sitting out here for too long. Let's... oh, and blue's good because I'm trying to produce blue. I've got 1, 2, 3. I now have enough to where I've got supremacy production, and I get an additional 3 points at the end of the game. So choosing blue was the right call. Okay, so one of these, I need more points. So can I afford any of these? Can I get any of these? Just to put under here, you know, for point value purposes. I mean, I would prefer a brown. What's this one? When scoring, choose this development's brand. I mean, that's not terrible. But I also kind of want to get... You know what I'm going to do? I think I've got a lot of purple here. Maybe I start getting some of these partnerships. Because I can buy it cheap right now. So I think I'm going to get a partnership. So I'm going to spend another action to get this gray one. There's 3 gray. 3 gray at the end of the game just gives me 2 points. So, I mean, that's nice and easy for me. Third and final action. I have a lot of resources here. What do I do with it? I'd prefer to have this gray one because that would add to that partnership. Blue, green, brown, purple, yellow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy some purple because I'm out. I'm going to take my energy credit here and buy 3 of them because it's on the 3. So I get 3 purple. 1, 2, 3. And this flips over. And now I get one more action from that. What would I want? Do I want to buy anything else? Or do I sell something that I've got a lot of? I have 2 brown. I really don't want to lose those. I have a lot of green. I could sell 2 green for 1 energy credit, which I guess I'll do because I have so much green right now and I really don't need it as far as I can see. So I'm going to just buy an energy credit using that. So, okay. So that was our third action because we got a partnership, we got a card, and then we traded. Okay, so we're going to do this on the second part. We're going to refresh these. We're going to get rid of, say, this one that makes brown more expensive, purple more expensive, and green more expensive. And this brown one that makes that more expensive, which it's already on the edge, so that doesn't do anything. And then we'll refresh these. Here we've got a green and a brown. That goes to the left. Refresh those. And then get rid of 2 of these. Let's get rid of that one. And I don't know, I kind of like that one. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna, which one do I want to get rid of? When scoring, choose this development's brand. I mean, I could buy it. I think, yeah, I'm going to get, either way, it doesn't matter. You know, just pick one. Pick one and stick with it. There we go. No resource changes up here. There was no production on that. Okay, sounds good. Now we're on to the second turn of this round. We get our 3 actions back and we get to do things. I need a green production under here if I can swing it, but I don't see anything out here that'll do it. Can I throw anything under here that would give me points or anything like, I've got all these resources, and this is blue, blue, green, green, and that would be brown. That would satisfy this. I'm going to spend, if I had a piracy token, I could put that under here, but I could spend 2 energy credits and a green, which I think, I'd hate to do that, but I'm going to have to. So 2 energy credits and a green to buy it outright rather than use that token. I get to steal a resource. And the question is, what am I going to steal? What am I low on? I've got 2 red, I've got 3 blue, I've got 2 green, I've got 3 purple. Maybe a brown? Or maybe a purple. I'm not sure which one I would steal from the bank. Let's go with a purple. That way I can afford more of these partnership cards later if I can swing them. Okay, and that was my first action, to buy this. Second action, I would like a brown. Maybe we trade and get more energy credits. I've got 3 blue. Let's do that. I'm going to trade. I'm going to buy, or I'm going to sell a blue to get 3 energy credits out of that. So 1, 2, 3. I'm going to have to discard down at some point. And then maybe I buy, do I buy something cheap? Or do I sell a, no. Let's sell, maybe I buy, I'm just going to buy a purple. I'm going to buy a purple. Okay. That way, again, I'm trying to get these partnerships and get cards that need them. So that was my second action. And my third action, I think I'm going to grab either this or, I mean, this isn't terrible, but I have nowhere to put it, really. I have nowhere to put any of these. That's the problem. I'd have to buy a third planet and then just start throwing cards underneath it. I really don't want to do that unless I can absolutely help it. Maybe I get a cheap one here, like this one. 2 red. You know what? I'm going to retcon that. I didn't see that. I'm going to take that free red instead of... Oh, I have 2 red. Never mind. I still have 2 red. So I'm going to get this one for 2 red. And that just produces a wild resource of my choice. And it only has 1 development slot there. So as long as I produce something under it, that would be nice and easy. So that's 1, 2, 3... 1 and 2. Yeah, okay. So that was my third and final action. Okay, so we move on to turn 3. We're going to refresh these. We're going to get rid of these. There's no target production underneath either of those, so nothing moves. And then this blue goes left 1, and the red goes left 1. And then here, that's 3 points. I think I can afford that, though, easier than I can afford this. And then 2 brown. 2 brown goes left 1. Okay, let's do that. Although that brown would have been good there. So I'm tempted now to actually get rid of this one. Yeah, screw it. Whatever. I don't care anymore. All right, so we're going to refresh all of that. And again, I don't move anything here because there's no production on that card. It's just flat out. Okay, so final, we got 3 there. I got to start spending resources, or I discard down to 7, so I really need to start spending. I really want this one. It's 2 blue and 2 green. So I'm going to go ahead and do 2 blue, 2 green, slot that under here, and that completes that set there, which is great. All right, so that's done. And I need to produce something here and get something here. I need a green under here. Is there a green? No. There's no. There's a green here, but I can't do it because this row is not empty, or not full, rather. Can I just put... No, I could produce anything here, right? Blue. I have a brown. I have a brown. I don't have a green, and I don't. I'd have to. I would have to, I think, trade and then buy one of these and just slot them under here. Out of all these resources, which one of these would I want? Maybe I get. Maybe I get blue. I don't have a whole lot of yellows. If I were to grab one, it would be a blue one. Okay, so let's trade for green. So I'm gonna for my second action do a trade. Spend an energy credit to buy a green. And also I need a purple, which I've got plenty of. So maybe I do something else. Maybe I buy a blue just so I have it. So I'm going to spend an energy credit to buy blue. Okay. And then that was my second action. Third action, I'm going to then purchase this one to just slide under here. And that was a green and a purple. So green and purple back here. Okay, that was my third and final action. That satisfies this. This is a wild production symbol. So it doesn't matter what color. So as long as I'm producing something, I'm going to get 2 points at the end of the game for that. Okay, so I still need to get something here, but it's too late for that right now. Now we move on to discarding down to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's get rid of a purple because I know we've got a lot more purple coming. And then we switch the first player around. Oh, that's right. We have to do this first. Let's get rid of red because red's going to go 1, 2, 3. And we'll get rid of this one, which does nothing. We're going to get rid of this does nothing. And this goes red to the left by 1. This does green to the left by 2. And this one is nothing. Okay. And then we refresh. A billboard. That's the nasty promo card 2 one that you can just throw into someone else's array and it just sort of mucks everything up. I showed this story in my unboxing, but here it is in case you're curious. You pay energy credits or piracy tokens to move it to another player's board and it kind of just messes them up. It gives them a point, but it has no like company symbol. It's just nasty little card. All right, so let's go ahead and draw our third and final event for the game, which is Building Boom. In turn order, each player draws a card from the Development 1 deck and may build it on their home world for free, regardless of its capacity. Don't perform steal actions. Well, that's fine. We'll go ahead and do that. So I'm going to draw one from the Development 1 deck and just add it. So this is a great one, actually. That's not terrible. We're going to just slot that in here for free, regardless of capacity, exactly what it tells us to do. All right. And now we should have a bunch of cards there. Okay, so now we produce. We're going to produce a green energy credit, blue purple, red purple. We're going to get purple, green, blue. We're going to get purple, brown, brown. So many resources. Red and a skull token. And a blue, and energy credit and 2 brown, and a blue. I don't think I've got enough resources over here. Okay, so we did that. Now we're on to player turns. We've got 3 actions for the first part here. I want to start getting these partnerships, and I want to fill up this card as quickly as possible. So I need a green. I think I'm just going to buy this brown, and I'm not even going to look at the array. Brown and blue. Just to complete this. There we go. Now we've got the blue, green, skull, blue, green. We've got all of that taken care of. Every single planet that we have is full. So I don't think we need to really buy a whole lot. If I buy a planet this round, I have to make sure that I can fill it up immediately. The question is it worth doing that? I would only do that if I could get 4 or 5 points out of it. because I'm completely full. I mean, if I were to buy something, it'd be something like that. Let's do it. We're going to buy something cheap, something like this. Put that down there. That's my second action. Third action, let's buy something we can throw here for some easy points. Can we get any of these down here? That's the question. This is 5 points and produces anything. Do we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blue and 2 purple? 1, 2, 3, 4. I do not. I have a lot. I could buy the blue. No, I couldn't. What about this? 2 blue, 2 green, 2 brown, 2 blue, 2 green, 2 brown, 2 purple, and I have 1 red, which I use. So I need to buy red. I'm going to go ahead and spend my third and final action. I'm going to put these out of the way for right now. Third and final action to buy a red with an energy credit. And what am I going to do with that? Buy a... I kind of want energy tokens. So I don't want to buy anything else if I can help it. So maybe I sell... What do I have a lot of? I've got a lot of purple. I'm going to sell a purple. And... I'm going to sell a purple. So 1 and get 2 energy credits. All right, that was my third and final there. Okay. So... Now we move on to the second one. Refresh these. We're going to move brown to the right 2 and red to the right 1 and green to the right 3. That's nasty. Really expensive. And then brown to the left 1 and red to the left 1. And this, we're going to get rid of that one. Does nothing. 2 purples to the left. I'm going to make them cheaper so I can get a whole bunch. Okay. Although that was a gray symbol. Whatever. We'll just deal with it. Okay. So with that said, we're on the second round. I get 3 actions. I need to fill up that 1 planet before the end of the game. I need to get 2 things there. So the first thing I'm going to do is, now that I've got those 2 red, I'm going to spend those resources I put aside. 2 red, 2 purple, 2 blue, 2 green, 2 brown. So 2 of each color. I've got them all. Put them off to the side. 2 red, 2 purple, done. Okay, and I'm going to grab this one. And this produces purple. So technically this still satisfies it. If I can get a energy credit under here, that would be awesome. That was my first action. Second action, I want an energy credit. So the question is, I don't know if there are any more energy credits in here. That's a good question. Or in here, I don't know. I would love to get a card that has an energy credit production on it. I'm going to spend an energy credit to wipe this and go 1, 2, 3. That wasn't an action. I'm going to do that again because I'm looking for things in particular. These are all... no. Oh, I don't know. Now, what happens if you run out of... I've never seen this happen before so early in the game, but what happens if you run out of tier 1 cards? I'm going to assume that you shuffle these back into a deck. And if that's the case, let's just check this real quick to see if there's any energy credit. There is 1 in there. Although the odds of getting it, there's another one. There's 3. So we're going to shuffle these up. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend an energy credit again. Again, not an action. Just to get rid of these. And there's 1. Beautiful. I did shuffle them. And then second action, I'm going to buy that. That's a green and a purple. Oh, I don't have a green. I'm going to have to do a trade action for my second action to do a green, which I need energy credits for. Oh, gosh darn it. Instead of that, maybe I just do Omniforge production. I think I do that. I'm going to do green and an energy credit for OmniForge production. That was my second action. Third action, I'm going to green and purple and buy this one and slot that under here. That completes this chain here. And again, once again, all of my planets are filled up. All filled up. Pretty sure. Yep. Okay, good. That was my third and final action. We're going to get rid of that one for free. Nothing happens. This is this one. It's red only. That goes to the right one. This is red to the left one and red to the left one. And then these here, this is all trading stuff. I'm just going to get rid of these. I do not, they don't produce, so I don't think that will affect the market in any way. So we're just going to refresh that. Beautiful. All right. Oh, too many cards. All right, a little sloppy now. Everything was all nice and orderly before we started playing. All right, third and final round. I get 3 more actions, and then we kind of just move on to final scoring at that point. I also need to have 7 resources in my tableau so that I can get the full benefit of this. But I have this piracy token, so I really have no way to get rid of it, as far as I know. Oh, and refill this too. So in that case, maybe I just focus on getting purples to get more of these, just to sort of try and get more points for endgame scoring. I've got 1, 2, 3 red. I've got 1, 2 green. I've got the gray already. Blue, I've got 1. I've got 3 pink hearts. Yeah, so I guess the red or the, oh, I've got 4 pink. Let's try and get this. So I'm going to spend for my first action. Do I really need to? Yeah, I'm going to do that for my first action. Energy credit to get, what is that, 3 of these? 1, 2, 3. And then for the other trade action, maybe I'll just, I want to keep that. I'm going to sell a blue. Yeah, I'm going to sell a blue and get 2 energy credits from that. 1, 2. Okay. And the thing is, yeah. Okay, so that was my first action. Second action, I'm going to spend 1, 2, 3, 4 and get a pink partnership. Third and final action, I just need to make sure I've got as many resources as possible. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the piracy token has to stick around, unfortunately. So this is what I'm going to end up with at the end of the game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's no way to get rid of it as far as I'm aware. There's really nothing to do for the final turn. So I think I'm just going to, for my third and final action, do nothing. I don't think I can do anything, nor would I think I want to come up with anything that would just lengthen the video. So we're just going to end it there. And we're going to move on to the final scoring part. Now, normally I would do this on Tabletop Simulator to make it all nice and easy, but I don't have that luxury. So this is my notes for turn orders and stuff. So now we're just going to move to endgame stuff. Resources, let's get rid of these, discard down to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got minimum 4 there. So I get 4 points for the resources. 4. Let's just go to the calculator. It'll be easier. 4 plus. So we got 4 there. We did satisfy our company card. So we've got a blue, a yellow, and a green planet. So that's 4 points. We completed. We have a majority of. We have blue supremacy there. So we've got 1, 2, 3. That's 3. We've got 3 points there. We've got this planet 4. We've got this planet 3 because of this -1 here. This one is 3 there. This one is 2 there. This one is 8 over here because we satisfied that, which is great. Are we forgetting anything else? Oh, yeah. We've got these partnerships here. So for the gray, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 gray is 4 points. So it's stupid calculator. 31 plus 4 is 35. Plus we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 pink. So that's another 4, and that equals 39. So if I did the math correctly, I ended up with 39 points at the end of it all. And according to the maxed out card, make sure that each of your planets has no capacity remaining. And our goal for this game was 34 points. Had this been the final round, third and final turn, we would not have made 40 points. Unless I missed a point or two somewhere. But yeah, there you go, folks. That was a quick look at Star Tycoon. This is a fantastic little game, even better with the neoprene mat and the acrylic tokens. So go check this one out. And if you haven't already, check out the links in the description below. You'll see some other cool videos regarding this game as well. This is Vince. Thanks for watching. I'll catch y'all next time. Take care.